Hi, how are you, my subscribers and viewers? Welcome to yet another video by Rama Dedan. And today's topic of discussion is basically going to be about it's not a story time, it's just another self expression, just one of those videos where I go about talking about like things on my mind because I do that. It's a way for me to outlet my, feelings and thoughts. And I just love to express myself. So I come on here and just talk to you guys about things that I feel are on my mind and try to get people who can understand me to you know see my perspectives and viewpoints and things like that. And today's video is gonna be talking about how I'm a late bloomer. Yeah, I'm a late bloomer, guys. you know I was one of those kids who matured late, and mostly mentally physically. I was a bit I was a bit behind my peers in growth physically, but eventually I caught up to them and I surpassed a lot of them, in growth, in physicality, like body wise. I used to be like a pretty short and skinny kid when I was growing up, when I was a teenager, in my early teenage years. By the time I was like 16, I was starting to catch up. I had gotten some major height. By the time I was 16, I was like average height. By the time I was 18, 19, I was clocking 6 foot. I had grown, I had, reached my full size. And, but mostly mentally, that's what I want to talk about. And it's been a struggle for me to like cope with life and some of like life's, demands because of like me being mentally, like immature. How can I say immature? Can I say mentally immature? I was not mature mentally. And this is like when you're talking about the mental aspects of like 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 being mature, you talk about things like your cognitive skills. You talk about like you know your your functioning, like how you take care of yourself, your emotional maturity, you know um things like that. And I was kind of one of the slow ones to like grow up because I was not very emotionally mature when I was young. I didn't know how to like you know I didn't know how to like express myself. I would either like not say enough or I would say too much. I would be one of those people that would overshare. I'll be one of those people that would overshare. I was emotionally mature. I would have like a lot of mood swings in my teenage years. This was like later in my teenage years. I would have mood swings. I was emotionally immature. You know, I was impatient. I didn't have understanding. I didn't have like a mature paradigm or like viewpoint or like perspective about the world around me. Like my worldview was quite limited. I didn't have a lot of information. I didn't know much. I wasn't very knowledgeable as a person. Um, I didn't know how to take care of myself. I didn't know how to take care of myself. I didn't know how to like govern myself. I struggled in school a lot academically. Intellectually, I was intellectually short. I didn't have a lot of intellectual depth growing up. I was intellectually short. And I struggled with these things for a long time. Being like a late bloomer is hard because you find it so hard to relate to other people your age. You just can't get along with them. You just can't understand them. You just can't get along with them. I struggle with like things like, social skills and like conversational skills. I didn't know how to like talk. I didn't know how to hold a conversation. I didn't know how to like express myself. I didn't know how to verbalize my words. I actually didn't know how to flipping talk. I could not like flipping talk for the longest of time. I did not know how to verbalize myself. And I struggle with self-expression. I struggle with like understanding. Even in school, like I struggled to grasp concepts and things like that. Because my understanding was like it was like it wasn't very like thorough. I didn't have a thorough understanding of things, and that kind of like made it hard for me to like cope with life, with like life skills and things like that. And I also had like a problem of like like I used to daydream a lot, you know. I used to have a lot of these fantasies, you know. I used to fantasize. I used to spend like hours on end daydreaming, and I couldn't get out of my play pretend world, you know. I used to play so much in my head, and I couldn't get out of my play pretend world. I would spend most of the times just daydreaming about shit, and I wouldn't like be able to get out of my play pretend world. And yeah, man, I struggled with this thing for a long time, and I don't know if any of you guys will be able to relate to this, like what I'm talking about, or if you guys will be able to like, if there's anyone who's like been through like what I've been through, or like any other late bloomers that know what it is, like how the struggle, just like, you know, surviving in life is hard. It took me long to like, you know, pull myself up by the socks and be able to like take charge of myself and take care of myself as an individual, you know. Man, I used to be a dirty ass nigga, man. Telling you, time I had like broski, man. All my days, bro. I used to be a dirty ass nigga. I was about to expose myself, but I'm not gonna overshare because I told you, like, yeah, I don't overshare anymore. Like, I try not to, man. At least I'm better off than I was. But like, man, I won't even get to exposing myself. But I used to be a dirty ass nigga, man. I was not taking care of myself well, man. Bro, it was the most shit, bro. And I was just insecure, you know. I was just insecure. I was just shy. I was just scared to talk to girls. You know, I was so terrified of girls for the longest of time. I used to be mad terrified of girls, man. It was the most. And you know, I was steady trying to be a cool kid, but it wouldn't flipping work because like, you know, I was just like, if you couldn't like get along with the girlies, niggas used to look at you like some type of way, man. And niggas used to look at me like I was like a fucko. I invented that word, man. I don't know. It's just like a word I invented to like I express myself. You know, I like I said, I like expressing myself, and as I express myself, you know, I have a rich language that I use, a rich set of vocabulary. Some of these words are my own expressions because there are just some words that, you know, there's just some ways of expressing yourself that you can't go about like with regular languages. So you have to create your own shit. That's why we have so much slang. And you know, it's my own kind of like slang that I use to express myself. But I was like some kind of fucko, man. I could not like talk to girlies for the most part. Like it was fucking bad. And like sometimes the girlies would even like make the move to me. They would like start the combos with me, and like I couldn't even do jack shit. I couldn't even talk to girls for the most part. It was fucking whack, bro. I was like bad. I was down bad, man. I was down bad, man. I was struggling for the most part, bro. But like slowly by slowly, you know, I started to mature. I started to grow up. I started to take care of myself. And the thing about late bloomers is we're not like these people who naturally like have it. You know, there's people that naturally have it, people that naturally know how to like go about their lives and, you know, interact with people and their interactions and their relationships and things like that. And they just know how to do shit. But for us, we gotta get it by trial and error, bro. We gotta get this shit by trial and error. You gotta fail and fail and fail and keep failing, bro. But that is our strength, you know, because most people stay in their comfort zone. But late bloomers, if you notice something about late bloomers, because they have it the worst, right? So they have to take it by force and they have to get it like out the mud, and they have to like get it. They have to get it like they have to like become hard. Like they have to become tough. You have to get like that tough mindset, and that's something that most late bloomers that I've seen about have, you know. And the thing about late bloomers, if you notice something about late bloomers, right? Even like in their physicality, like when they mature, if it's someone who used to be small, when they grow up and they become like big, or like when they finally like mature, even if it's mentally or like physically, like they'll be like they'll have a lot of growth on them. You'll see a lot of growth on them. Like that growth spurt, like it hits. It hits, man. And like, yo, I'm still on my journey of growth. I'm still discovering myself as a person, and I decided to come here to like express myself because this is how I get along with my audience. And like my audience, my YouTube audience to me are like a family. Because if you understand me, if you take time to understand me, to go through these videos and listen to me talking and listen to like my heart on like conversations with y'all and just like my deep thoughts, you know, then like that means the most to me. And I gladly appreciate support from all of my fans. And to me, anyone who watches this is like family, no matter how few you guys are. And I just want y'all to keep sharing my content, and like, you know, let's have some growth. As I keep growing as an individual, I'll come on here and just like be giving y'all my thoughts and like, my experiences in life, because I do know some things. I do know some things despite what I may look like. I'm don't let looks deceive you, man. And if your first impression of me was like, you know, not very impressionable, then you would be wrong to like have that judgment about me, because I do know a lot of things, a lot of things, and you would be surprised how much I know, you know. But yeah, I just come on here to talk to you guys about my life experience and things like that. Currently in life, on my journey of growth as an individual, I started to, you know, engage in some hobbies, some interests, you know, and just like my relationships with the world and like with people, it has changed for the most part, because like my lifestyle has changed, my lifestyle has changed compared to like when I was younger. I stopped daydreaming as much as I used to, and I stopped daydreaming as much as I used to, and you know, I became more emotionally mature. I stopped like I stopped oversharing. You know, my conversational skills are like much better than they used to be like in the past. You know, and I picked up some new hobbies and interests like reading books. I like intellectualism. I like looking at topics that talk about like very important, or like things that matter. Like I like viewing podcasts. you know I like watching documentaries. I like watching like informatics, like things that inform people about like the world and things like that. I like keeping up with news. I like debates. I like healthy debates. I don't like unhealthy debates, but I like healthy debates. I like sports. I started playing sports like late in life, but I do like sports. And I think I have a high IQ for sports. I have a high IQ when it comes to sports. Like I got ball knowledge. Like yeah, I definitely got ball knowledge. Yeah. And yeah, that's just a little something about me and who I am as a person, and the things that I take delight in. And on this channel, you'll see me express myself more and talk about some of the things that I'm interested in, and just like my passions and things like that. And that's what I hope to achieve on this channel. But today was just a way for me to outlet to you guys like my past, and just like my come up, and like my growth as an individual. And I hope that as you stay tuned into this channel, you may keep keep posted for like my updates. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button, such that you get notified for like any videos that I drop. And this has been another video yet again by Rama Dedan. And I just record these videos in my room. I'm trying to find a way to switch up like my content, find a way to do new things with my life, and have you know because like I do a lot. I'm not just like a one-dimensional person. I do a lot of things, and I'm trying to switch it up on my channel and have like different forms of content. But I haven't gotten there yet, and this is just the start to my channel, whereby I'm just coming out of like my bubble and just like talking about my thoughts and feelings and things like that. And this is basically the conclusion of the video. And I hope that you like this, and I hope that you stay tuned furthermore for like any more updates. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.